Just because somebody works in a salon does not mean that they are a great stylist. I think we all know that. I think we can all agree on that one, okay? And a lot of people, they have their own lane, you know? Some stylists are good at color. Some stylists are better at cutting. Some stylists are just natural stylists. They like to focus in on natural hair. And other stylists, they can do it all. Hey guys, welcome back. What's up, subbies? And what's up, newbies? That's anybody checking me out maybe for the first time. We don't count over here. We don't keep tabs. It don't even matter. Come on in, okay? Today, we are going to go over some of the things that I would never, ever do to my hair. Now, a lot of you, I'm sure, are already familiar with my regimen. If you're not, I'll have that down below. But if you're already familiar with my regimen, you know a lot of the things that I do, okay? A lot of the things that I do implement and that I do stand by. But someone suggested that I do a list of things that I would not do, okay? My don'ts, okay? So you know my do's, and now here's my don'ts. So they suggested that, and you know who you are. So I thought that was a good idea. So guess what? We're going to get right to it. And we're going to go down the list of things that I would never, ever do to my hair. Now, one of these things you guys already know, you're already familiar. I would never, ever go without scheduled trims. Never. Trims are crucial. Trims are essential to your hair's maintenance and the steady growth. Very essential as far as its length retention. I always say that you want to get to those ends before they split, okay? And in doing so, you want to keep a scheduled trim. I trim my hair. I do a dusting at 4 weeks, and then I do an actual trim at 8 weeks, which is around the time when I relax my hair. So I stick to that. I stand by that. Trims are very important. And yeah, I would never go out trimming my hair over a certain amount of time, whether you do it every 8 weeks, every 6 weeks. It's all about knowing your hair and staying on top of things. So that's number one. I would definitely not go without doing trims on my hair. Natural or relaxed, I would not. That's just me. I would not. Another thing, I think this is, pretty straightforward. This is pretty common. I would not ever use heat on my hair every day. It's not necessary, okay? It's not necessary, and it's not good for your hair. It's going to zap it of its moisture, and it's going to damage your hair, okay? There's a good way to use heat, and there's a not so good way to use heat. I use heat once a week in my hair. That's after I wash it, okay? And that's about it. I wrap it up, and my curls and my style and my this and my that, they pretty much stay for the entire week, okay? So I don't even have to pick up a flat iron or anything else, any other heating tool, okay, to keep my style going. So with that being said, I would never ever use heat more than once a week on my hair. And I would never ever use it on dirty hair, especially. I personally would never ever go without using a leave-in. Now, you guys have heard me, and maybe if you haven't, if you're brand new, if you're a newbie and just now coming in and finding a seat, I totally stand behind leave-ins, okay? Because the before and the after it's definitely noticeable. Before I started using leave-ins, my hair was a lot drier, and I thought that was just the normal thing with relaxed hair. But in my quest to up the ante and get a better result, I came upon a leave-in. You all know I used Infusium as well as a different leave-in, and totally night and day. Totally 180. I immediately felt the difference. I immediately noticed the difference. Therefore, I would never ever go without using a leave-in. Once I wash my hair, condition my hair, I put that leave-in right in, and I'm telling you, it makes a world of difference. The right products will give you the right result, and part of that is using a leave-in. That's what I believe, that's what I do, so I would never ever go without using a leave-in conditioner. Now this one is for all my people who may be looking for a stylist, okay? Maybe you're not DIY. Maybe you like to leave it to other people, you know, to the professionals to do your hair. I've been there, done that, okay? What I will say for my list of never ever, okay, and don'ts, I personally would not go to a stylist whose hair was not on point for themselves, okay? We're talking about missing edges. We're talking about where it's never kept. We're talking about just visible damage or neglect, okay? And me personally, I just would never feel comfortable going to a stylist whose hair wasn't on point already. I believe, now just hold on, hold on. I believe that you are the walking, talking billboard for your business, whatever business that may be. So if you are a wardrobe stylist, okay, I expect you to look hot from head to toe, okay? Now I understand, you know, people have off days, but I'm saying overall, you know, if you're a stylist, you want to look a certain way. So if you're a hairstylist, I would expect for your hair to look a certain way. That way you can speak volumes of your business and your skills without even saying a word. For me, I see that first. If you're advertising that you're doing hair, I look at your hair first. I really do. And I'm not alone. So I personally would not go to a stylist whose hair was not on point or done. Now I understand doing heads all day long. So you may have it pulled back in a ponytail. You may have it in braids because you don't want to be bothered with your own hair as a stylist. I totally get that. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about neglect. I'm talking about damaged hair. Again, because I want to make that significant. I've been approached, or I have gone to certain places with other people, okay, and I've been approached by certain stylists saying, oh girl, I could do your hair, let me do this, let me do that. Meanwhile, their hair was nothing to be desired. So again, I didn't feel comfortable going to that person. I'm thinking, of all things, your hair should be on point. Outside of illnesses and, you know, anything like that, I'm not talking about that, but I'm just talking about overall a billboard of healthy hair. It don't have to be long. It don't have to be super cut and this and that. It could even be back in a ponytail. I'm talking about the look of healthy hair. You are the billboard for your business, so your hair should look at least healthy. I would not go to a stylist whose hair did not look the way that I would want my hair to aspire to look like, okay? Because I see that as a direct reflection, as a lot of people do, but me included. I make that direct correlation that if their hair is not on point, they will not be able to take care of my hair. So that's just my little 2 cents. I just never would ever do that. I wouldn't do it. Okay, so I don't or would not ever relax and color my hair on the same day. Now there seems to be this new, now I've seen it on Instagram, okay? And I peeped it on a couple other things where, speaking of professional stylists, I've seen stylists where they say that it can be done, and they have done it and posted pictures of the people who they have done it to. A lot of them have bragged that they can do both chemical processes the same day. Now, I haven't seen any follow-ups. You know, you see the pictures and the hair looks really nice and little, you know, really good and slick back and colorful and this and that. So it looks really good going in, but what is the aftermath? What are the effects on the hair afterwards? Okay, because that's a lot for your hair to go through. I myself would, because I can't make sense of that in my head, because I already know that just as a layperson, you don't want to do a whole bunch to your hair chemical-wise. And then combining different chemicals and doing different processes is usually a no-no. So this sort of works against the grain of what I have been taught. So with that being said, not only would I not do it for myself if I did color, but I would not go to anyone for that service either, because I don't know what the aftermath would be, and everybody is different. You know, everybody's hair is different, and I would just be scared that it just wouldn't work on me, you know. And I'm not in a rush. I've sort of intimated with other or in other videos that I'm looking to maybe, zhuzh up the color, maybe go a little lighter or whatever. So for me, I would probably more than likely want to do that gradually. I hear that that's better for your hair, healthier for your hair, and that just makes sense to me. So this whole thing of being able to do everything in one day, and you get your color and your relaxer and your this and your that, I pump the brakes on that. I'm good on that. I wouldn't do that. I'm not pressed to have everything done on the same day. So just me knowing what I know, and again, I am not a professional. I'm just going off of basic knowledge, okay, as far as what I've been taught and what I've already done to my hair. I would not do that one. I would not get relaxer and color on the same day of my hair. I've come way too far as my hair journey, and I'm not trying to go back all that in the same day. I just would never. Okay, now this next one, I might draw a little bit of ire from some people, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not knocking anybody. This whole list is about me, okay? Just my thoughts. So these are the things that I'm sticking to, my sticklers, okay? I personally, okay, I would never, ever, I would never get a sew-in weave. Okay, hear me out. Okay, I've never had a weave. Okay, we've already been through this, but again, those who are just sat down in the back of the class, I've never had a weave. I know that there are different types of weaves and different ways to weave up your hair. And in knowing that there are different ways of weaving your hair, I would not choose that version of the weave. I would not choose that method. Never ever. Now, let me say, I was told by someone else who got sew-in weaves, okay? So don't put this all on me. Don't throw no daggers. Don't throw no tomatoes at the screen. Those who have sew-in weaves, okay? I'm not knocking anybody for weaves. That is not my point. Out of the weave methods that are available, I would not want a sew-in weave, because I was told by someone who has gotten sew-in weave since day one. She has a pretty good head of hair, but she doesn't like doing it. So she would always opt for a weave. She's worn weaves for years. And she made a comment about my hair one day. Oh, you take care of your hair, don't you? I said, well, yeah, this and that, yada, yada. But I see you popping with the weave. That's cool. She said, no. She said, let me tell you something. Don't ever get a sew-in weave, because that's why I believe my hair is breaking off. So she explained what happened and this and that, but she still, she was sort of on the weave wheel, as far as getting the weaves, because now that her hair is not in the best shape, you want to present yourself in a certain light. So she was sort of on that wheel, on that weave wheel. But she told me that, she would not advise anyone to get a sew-in weave. And with that being said, even the glue-ins, I don't want any glue on my scalp. I don't want any glue next to my hair. Then you got to use a solution to get it out. And this, I don't want to be bothered with none of that. If I were to get a weave, I would get the one that you glue on the cap, where nothing touches your hair, including a needle or glue. It all goes on that cap, and then you pull it on and you're pretty much done. That's the type of weave that I would get, okay? And that I just got into clip-ins, so I would use the clip-ins or that cap weave. But anything with glue or sewing, like I said, I was warned by someone who, actually got it done. I personally would not, never ever, get a sew-in weave or anything that you have to glue to your hair or your scalp. That's me personally. That includes lace wigs. I would never glue down a wig around my edges, and I don't have time for that. I just don't. And let me just say this. I know a lot of times it is also due to who's doing it. I know people are going to say, well, it depends on who does it. You can have a sew-in weave and it look great and this and that. I'm not saying anything about the way it looks. And I'm not knocking anybody who has done it. And I think it's great if you have done it and you have come out the better for it. Nothing has happened to your hair. There's no breakage. The sewing went fine. The needles, the glues, the whatever. I'm talking about what I would never do because of my hesitation and any anticipation of something going wrong. Just to put it simply, I would not feel comfortable. I would not feel confident in that particular process. But anybody who's doing that and your hair is absolutely great, I say kudos to you. I am not knocking anybody who does it or anybody who's a weavologist who has done a lot of people's hair, and you can testify and you have a whole page and Instagram and this and that, and everybody has hair down to the bottom. I think that's great. I am not knocking that. For me, I don't have the confidence that my hair would fare well after getting it sewn or glued. Okay, that's just me. So I never ever would get a sew or glue in. I would do a different type of weave if I were into weaves in the first place. That's just me. Okay, now this next one shouldn't be a surprise. I would never, and I don't, and I wouldn't, and I won't take any type of miracle pill or potion or elixir or, salve or spray. I don't want none of that as far as a miracle hair growth. I don't want it. I don't trust it. I don't see the need for it. I'm the old-fashioned type of just let it be what it is and do what you need to do in order to get what you want. I'm not into any fast tracking of hair growth. That's just me. I'm not into, okay, sprinkle this and your hair will grow back in 5 days. I'm not into that. I'm not into take this pill and you will have hair from your shoulders to your behind in 2 days. I'm not into that. I will take my time. I will do the work. And I know I will see the results because I've done that before, okay? And I'm doing it now. And you don't always know what's going to happen to your body with all of this stuff. First of all, I think a lot of it is snake oil. I said it, I'm going to say it again. I think a lot of this stuff is snake oil. I've already done a whole video on that. And it's just, it goes against your whole biology. It goes against your whole rhythm of your hair growth. If someone is saying that you can grow your hair in 2 days, for all that, I don't believe it. To quote Jay-Z, I don't believe you. You need more people. So with that being said, I'm not even into all that. I'd rather get my hands in the dirt, so to speak, toil the soil, and do it myself. I'd rather put in the work, get the conditioner, the shampoo, the this, the that, the yada, 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 and put in that work to grow my hair. I don't know what kind of side effects are to these pills. I don't know if this hair stuff is going to dry it out. I don't know if it's going to be, giving me more protein than moisture. And I don't even have time to figure it out, okay? I'd rather go with tried and true than try something new. Plus, that's just not my personality anyway. Anybody knows me, okay? Knows me. I'm the one who likes to take their time and figure it out. That's just me. I've never been a shortcut person per se. I'm the one who wants to figure out the puzzles. I don't want no hints. I don't, I do the crossword puzzles. I don't cheat on that and look stuff up and this and that. That's just me. I like to figure it out myself. And especially if I already done my hair, what's the rush? Especially if I know that, outside of any, medical malady, like I always say, outside of anything else going on, my hair will grow. So what's the rush? I don't need to rush into anything. I'll just do the work and see it through. So with that being said, I would never, ever, I don't do the whole miracle pill, miracle drug thing. I don't do it. I don't want it. I'm good. Okay, now rounding out the list, okay, I would never. Now let me say don't. I don't, okay? I don't go longer than 2 weeks without washing my hair. I don't, okay? Now I know with extreme circumstances, of course, if I were, trapped on a desert, on an island somewhere with only, bananas and coconuts and just the fish and no soap or shampoo, whatever, I obviously I would go longer than 2 weeks. So I don't want to say never ever. Not that I ever plan on getting shipwrecked and getting my Gilligan's Island on it. I'll just say don't. I don't go longer than 1 week, but I wouldn't go longer than 2 weeks with doing my hair, okay, as far as washing it. I believe in a schedule. I've said this many times and I'm going to say it again. Everybody can have their own schedule. My schedule is once a week. I have gone longer because, either you're tired or this and that, and it may vary by a couple of days or so. But I do not go over 2 weeks when doing my hair, okay? Even when I was natural. And I know a lot of people, well, I won't say a lot, but some people think that once a week is, oh my gosh, they were sort of taken aback when I told them that I do it every week. Even my family, who are natural, they're natural. Even my family sort of balks at my schedule because I do it every week. But I believe in resetting your hair. Your hair thrives in a clean environment, just like anything else. Your skin, your hair, your overall life, it thrives in a clean environment, in a clean setup, okay? Now with your hair, you don't want your pores to be clogged up, okay? You don't want a whole bunch of buildup on your hair from products and or dirt, okay? Because that can leave your hair drier, and drier can lead to brittleness. And brittleness, of course, we already know, leads to breakage. So we ain't got time for that. Who got time for that? I don't, not me. Hello. So with that being said, I don't go over 2 weeks. I stick to a schedule of every week because that is beneficial to my hair. That's what my hair is used to. Like I said, the longer that you wait, it gets a little stiffer, especially with the products that you use. And especially if you're using heat on your hair. I feel better when my hair is done. I feel better when I reset. I basically press that reset button every week. Now for some it's 2 weeks, which, hey, I understand. But for me, I would not go over 2 weeks. That's just me because I don't even like the feel of dirty hair. You know what I mean? Some people can, whatever. I just don't like the feel of my dirty hair. You know what I mean? And it's even sort of cathartic for me when I wash my hair. You know what I mean? It feels good to me. It's just a feel-good feeling, okay? Feel-good feeling, a good feeling of feeling good, whatever. You get the gist of what I'm saying. So I would say never ever, but who knows? I might, be on some type of Survivor type show where it's just me and a couple of, they leave me a hammer and this and that. I don't got no shampoo, no conditioner, and I'm just in the sun and this and that. And you just never know what may happen in life. But outside of any type of, situation where you can't do it, or any type of situation where you don't have control over how many times you can do your hair or sticking to a schedule, I would not go over 2 weeks in doing my hair. That's a big no. That's a do not and don't do on my list. Okay, guys, so this was kind of fun, okay? This one was interesting, okay? Because usually, like I say, I harp on and I focus in on the stuff to do and that I do, okay? And that I stick to and yada, yada, yada. But this was kind of fun. It's sort of the opposite side of the coin as far as the regimen and things that I would never do, okay? Or don't do or would not do. You get the point, okay? The do's and the don'ts, okay? I usually focus in on the do's, so these were the don'ts for me, okay? For me. So this was interesting, and I think we're going to revisit this one, okay? This one was kind of fun. So that wasn't too bad, right? We were in and out, okay? I want to thank you so much for dialing in and showing up. I really do appreciate it. I do. I really do. I really do. And yeah, we'll be back talking about some more stuff. We got more stuff on the list, honey. Don't you worry about it. We're going to get to everything. So you gotta come back for that. So you already know. It's going to be the same Dolce dial. It's going to be the same Dolce channel. So you come on back. All right.